Welcome to Money Talks with Shivam. So today we are going to discuss a very controversial and debatable financial instruments, fixed deposits or FDs. So for this very easy to do and easy to understand financial instrument, there is a lot of debate. Many people who are historically doing it and are in favor of doing it say that it's very safe, it's very secure, you have a bank guarantee that they will return your money with interest back at a maturity date. But there are a lot of arguments against it as well. People, even many financial influencers, say that you are wasting your time and money while doing it. Your value of money is actually depreciating when you get it back. So in today's video we are going to discuss FDs as a financial instrument, and secondly why FDs are not as bad as you think, by focusing on two essential ingredients to take into account while doing it. So let's dive in. So पहले ये समझते हैं फिक्स डिपॉजिट्स या एफडीज होता क्या है. आप अपना सरप्लस अमाउंट बैंक में जमा करते हैं इन योर सेविंग्स अकाउंट, जिस पर बैंक आपको 3.5% पर एनम रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट देता है. बैंक उसी पैसे को आगे लोन के थ्रू दूसरे लोगों को देता है जिस पे दे अर्न अ हायर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. नाउ दिस इज हाउ बैंक अर्न्स मनी. बट बिकॉज बैंक्स को जो लोन देने होते हैं वो ज़्यादा ड्यूरेशन के लिए देने होते हैं. इट कुड बी 10 years, it could be 15 years और even 20 years in terms of home loans. So bank needs some secure money from the customers. So for that it offers fixed deposit as an instrument. So bank says rather than giving 3.5% per annum, we will give you 6% or even 7% of rate of interest, but you have to keep your money with us for longer period. Sound simple? Now let's talk about the two critical and very essential components to take into account while doing FD. So the first one is when to do FD. So like stock market, you must have heard many times that timing is everything. When you get in and get out matters, whether you make a profit or a loss. Similarly, in terms of doing FD, there is a good time and a bad time. So it is very simple to understand. So if the rate of interest that are provided on FDs are higher, it's a good time to do FD, right? But why does the FD rates fluctuate? For that, we need to understand how banks work. So for that, let's start with repo rate. Now let's say repo rate is at a 5%. So bank can borrow money from RBI at 5% and it can give the money for loans, let's say at 8%. Simple enough. Now in this case, ideally for additional money that bank needs to borrow from its customer, it can give the FD rates around 6% so that it's still earning a margin of 2% while giving out loans, right? But let's talk about the current scenario where the repo rates are a little higher at 6.5%. So now the banks are giving the rate of interest for their loans at around 9 and 9.5%. At the same time, to borrow additional money for the FDs, they are giving a rate of interest of around 7 to 7.5%, and in some cases 8.25% for senior citizens. Attaching snippets of current FD rates offered by top Indian banks. So don't be excited just yet and start doing FDs, because we still have a second point which is also as critical as the first one. So that is the amount. So actually how much amount you should invest in FDs from your portfolio. So to understand this, just look at the term liquid money or emergency fund. So the thumb rule of keeping liquid money or emergency fund is you should have 3 to 6 months of your expenditure in this funds or parked in your emergency fund, and it shouldn't be tied up with any of the asset class. It could be stock market or mutual fund, which you can't liquidate immediately or without incurring a loss. So let's just say you put some money in a particular stock and you need it in an emergency, but because at that moment of time that particular stock or the whole stock market is down, so you need to liquidate your investment at a loss. So that is why you should keep some money aside in terms of liquid, and for that particular money FDs are one of the best options. One, it provides you secure rate of interest at a particular maturity date. Second benefit is that even if you need some money in case of emergency, you can actually liquidate your FDs at any moment of time. You just have to go to bank, or you can online request the liquidation of your FD, and even in that terms you will get the interest for that particular point. So let's say you booked an FD of 1 year, but you had to, for emergency purpose, liquidate in 6 months. So you will get that 6 months worth of interest. So that is the good part. Now, one more tip that I personally follow is that whenever I'm trying to do an FD, I don't book one FD of the whole amount. So for example, if I have to book one FD of, let's say, 1 lakh rupees, instead what I will do, I will book two FDs of 50,000 each. Now, how does it help is that in case of any emergency, if I need to withdraw, let's say, 40,000 rupees, I can liquidate only one FD and not the whole 1 lakh rupees, while the second one is intact and giving me the whole rate of interest till maturity. So this was what I had for today's video. If you think still FD is a good option, give me a thumbs up, and if you think that FD is not that great, do let me know in your comments. Thank you, and do subscribe this channel for more money related tips.